My name is David Harrison Greis. Welcome to the Greis Report, your unfiltered daily voice for truth. Tonight, I would like to begin by talking about how the ICE Gestapo have become provocateurs in terms of their interactions with the regular citizens of America. So, just to give you some pretext on this story and some context, Mad King wannabe Donald Trump designated at the end of September Antifa as a terror organization, which basically, in his mind, illegalized free speech and dissent against him, including protesting, which we all know is not something he could do. It's a constitutional amendment that we have the right to free speech. And number two, Antifa is not an organization, and if you've watched my show, you understand that Antifa just means anti-fascists. I am anti-fascist. My grandfather, who fought in World War II, was anti-fascist, and everybody who fights in the U.S. military is supposed to be anti-fascist. All Americans should be anti-fascist. In fact, the founding fathers were anti-fascist when they fought against the fascist king. I mean, fascism is bad, right? Fascism is just, it's bad. It's bad. And we know it's bad. And if you're not anti-fascist, you are a fascist. And there's no justification for fascism. It's a horrible, monstrous thing. And now let's just kind of look at what that looks like when it's actually played out. When this whole narrative that I've been talking about with Antifa is played out on an actual smaller scale and it directly impacts individuals. So yesterday, 10/25/25, outside of the Portland, Oregon ICE Gestapo armory, because that's what it really is now, it's an armory for their invasion, there was a protester, and there was a blue line drawn on the ground between the protesters and the ICE Gestapo, and they're not supposed to cross the line. This person, an ICE Gestapo agent, in the video that I'm about to show you, appears to grab this woman from behind, kind of push her over the line, and then they all swarm on her and abduct her. I believe it's a woman. That's what I'm seeing from the video. I could be mistaken. I do apologize for that. But I'm going to let you watch the video and see what I mean, and then we'll discuss it quickly.
Protests continued today at the ICE facility in South Portland. There was a planned protest just outside of the building this afternoon. Take a look at this video. It shows a federal agent speaking with one of the protesters tonight before pulling them over the blue line on the ground. Other officers then jump in and arrest that protester. It's not clear why the protester was arrested at this point, but we've reached out to ICE and DHS for more details. We have not heard any reports of arrest from Portland police tonight.
So now that you've seen that, I very clearly saw them attempt to provoke somebody into touching somebody else. It's a natural human reaction. Somebody grabs you, you're going to touch someone else. But if touching a federal officer is illegal, even if after they touch you and you don't know it's them, they're going to grab you. This looks like a provocation for future instances where they're going to try to test how far they can push people before people accidentally push back or touch them, and then they'll abduct them saying, "Oh, he touched me." Well, like a 5-year-old on the playground. "Oh, mom, he touched me. He's bad." grow a pair. Grow a pair. Grow up. Go get a real job, because ICE, you're a bunch of punks. Not one single one of you has a real job. And when this is all over, you're not going to have immunity. You're all going to prison. You're for life. You're going to be put on trial, and that'll be that. So if you like what you hear tonight, please remember to like, subscribe, and down here we have an email address, thegreisreport@gmail.com. Again, that's thegreisreport@gmail.com. Please send us any tips, leads, story requests, any kind of interactions that you might have had with the ICE Gestapo, the CBP Gestapo, or any of the other acronyms that are out there, pretending that they're bigger than life when really they're a bunch of pathetic sad sacks. And hitting that subscribe button really does help us get the news out there. So please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and help us show the world what monsters these guys really are. Because I don't even know if we can call them guys. They're more like little boys. Speaking of punks who think that they're tough, here in New York City, according to The City, it's a local newspaper, a 16-year-old boy was abducted by the ICE Gestapo. This 16-year-old, his name was Joel. He's from Ecuador. He came here with his mother. I believe it was 2022. They applied for asylum from gang violence. The mother, unfortunately, as of November of 2024, was denied and given a final order of removal. Now, it is worthy to note that the mother did self-deport after receiving that order, and her son stayed in the country, Joel. He was connected with legal resources that allowed him to gain access to legal standing. He went before a judge in April of 2025. He was granted protected status until he turns at least 18. The ICE Gestapo abducted him from a check-in anyway. A child. And then the Department of Homeland Security tried to frame it like, well, at least he'll be back with his mom. I would like to see evidence of all the other families you've reunited. Let's see where they all are right now. Because last I heard, you're separating families and sending them to different countries, and there's still some people in the middle of prisons in the middle of nowhere that are being held without charge in foreign countries that they don't have citizenship in. You're deporting people to third countries. That's twisted and demented and sick. And then the final thing I want to close on tonight is the USDA website, as I'm sure it's all going to blow up in a very short amount of time. Here's what really happened. So the USDA has posted on their website a message about SNAP benefits being ended as a result of the Democrats. Now, we know that this is Trump's shutdown. It is not the Democrats' shutdown. Trump has decided to put messages violating the Hatch Act on almost every governmental website, directly blaming the Democrats for starving babies. And that's what it says. It says the Democrats would rather fund illegal aliens' health care than feed men, women, and starving children. They could either keep the government shut down over illegal aliens' health care or feed the hungry babies. Okay, but you are the one who chose not to fund SNAP benefits. You have the money for it. You're funding ICE. You're funding HSI. You're funding ERO officers. You're funding Gestapo. You're funding USCIS to be armed to the teeth instead of feeding the babies. That one's on you, Trump. That's not on us. And by the way, no one is illegal except for felons like you. Everybody who's here, they are a human being and they should be treated as such. The correct term is undocumented if you're going to say anything about it at all. But guess what? Don't blow up anybody's spot. Protect your friends and neighbors in this moment in history. And Mike Johnson, happy Mike, sad Mike, angry Mike, rolling over Mike, like purring like a kitten for your boss. Whatever you do, consider this fact. When this is all over, they're going to come down just as hard on you as they are on Trump for the Epstein files because you protected him when you could have sworn in Adelita Grijalva and let them be released. You are aiding and abetting in a criminal allowed to hide the crimes of one of his best friends. And you're not allowing them to get justice. The victims, they're still suffering. And you are part of the reason, Mike Johnson. You are adding to the victim's suffering. So please, happy Mike, sad Mike, maybe gain a pair, grow a pair, whatever you want to do to get out there and get her in, just do it. Because we're sick and tired of waiting around and they got to be released eventually. Thank you for watching. My name is David Harrison Greis. Thank you for joining the Resistance and have a great night.